the only person on the stage who isn't bought and paid for.
I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT.
Now is not the time for on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie.
This is exactly why Margaret Thatcher said, if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
The first Republican presidential debate of 2024 is in the books. We highlight where candidates stand on key issues and memorable moments from the stage.
We'll get bigger ratings using this crazy forum that you're using than probably the debate or competition.
Then former President Donald Trump, the frontrunner in the GOP primary, countered debate night with a one-on-one interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. What he had to say just hours before he's expected to surrender to authorities on racketeering charges in Georgia. A special edition of the Morning Rundown starts now. This is Straight Arrow News, bringing you unbiased, straight facts. Today is Thursday, August 24th. Thank you for joining us on this special edition of the Morning Rundown, recapping key takeaways from the Republican primary debate and what the frontrunner Donald Trump had to say to supporters in counter-programming on the social media platform X. But first, we begin with the 8 candidates who took the stage in Milwaukee Wednesday night, taking hard stances on issues from abortion, the war in Ukraine, and Trump's indictments, and saying they aim to focus on the future of the party rather than distractions from the past. Let's begin with the issue of abortion. All candidates took a pro-life approach into the conversation. The contrast was in what role the federal government should play. Should the government ban abortion outright? Some say yes, including former Vice President Mike Pence, who said abortion is a moral issue, not a state one. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott would enact a 15-week ban, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis would enact a 6-week ban at the national level, something he's already done in Florida.
You got to do what you think is right. I believe in a culture of life. I was proud to sign the heartbeat bill. What the Democrats are trying to do on this issue is wrong, to allow abortion all the way up to the moment of birth.
Former U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley, the only woman on this stage, is pro-life, but is not for any abortion ban at the national level, asking her colleagues to find middle ground on an issue Republicans have lost ground on in swing states.
Can't we all agree that we are not going to put a woman in jail or give her the death penalty if she gets an abortion? Let's treat this like a respectful issue that it is, and humanize the situation and stop demonizing the situation.
The candidates were asked about the U.S. funding Ukraine in its war with Russia. Both DeSantis and tech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy say they oppose more funding, that the money should be spent keeping America safe. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Pence, and Haley disagreed, leading to one of the more heated moments on the debate stage last night.
This guy is a murderer, and you are choosing a murderer over a pro-American country.
First of all,
Mr. Ramaswamy, you have 30 seconds. Mr. DeSantis,
Nikki, I wish you well in your future career on the boards of Lockheed and Raytheon.
I'm not on the boards of Lockheed and Raytheon. And
Boeing came off of it, but you've been pushing this lie. You've been pushing this lie all week, Nikki.
There was a theme in last night's debate, Ramaswamy going head-to-head with the candidates on hot-button issues. Spars on the debate stage largely centered around the youngest presidential candidate.
I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT, and I'm afraid we're dealing with the same type of amateur standing on stage tonight.
Come over and give me a hug. Give me a hug just like you did to Obama.
Now is not the time for on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie.
Let us be honest as Republicans. I'm the only person on the stage who isn't bought and paid for, so I can say this. The climate change agenda is a hoax. The climate change agenda is a hoax.
That climate change comment caught the attention of President Joe Biden, who shortly after said on social media, quote, "Climate change is real, by the way." Then about an hour into the debate, Fox News anchor Bret Baier, one of the moderators, brought up what he said was, quote, "the elephant not in the room." Former President Donald Trump, who is facing 4 indictments, 2 federal cases, and then 1 in Georgia and another in New York.
You all signed a pledge to support the eventual Republican nominee. If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
Candidates raise their hands, some slowly, except for former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. This was one of many contentious moments on stage as candidates began to polarize once Trump's name was thrown into the mix.
Someone's got to stop normalizing this conduct.
President Trump, I believe, was the best president of the 21st century.
I am not going to bow to anyone when we have a president of the United States who disrespects the Constitution.
Your claim that Donald Trump is motivated by vengeance and grievance would be a lot more credible if your entire campaign were not based on vengeance and grievance.
Booing is allowed, but it doesn't change the truth. It doesn't change the truth.
Mr. Ramaswamy, you raised your hand.
Former Vice President Mike Pence had his turn to defend his actions from January 6th before the candidates came to a consensus that this election is about January of 2025 and it's time to look ahead.
The president asked me in his request that I reject or return votes unilaterally, power that no vice president in American history had ever exercised or taken. He asked me to put him over the Constitution. And I chose the Constitution, and I always will.
Former President Donald Trump, who had qualified for the debate, did not show up on the stage despite being the GOP frontrunner. Instead, he took part in a pre-taped interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson that was posted to the social media site X just before the debate started. The interview has garnered more than 135 million views as of early this morning. It should be noted that X measures every person who saw the video appear in their timeline, not how many people watched it. Trump has said due to his poll numbers showing him ahead of all other candidates, he didn't need to participate in the debate. In the 46-minute interview, Trump went into further detail on his reasoning to skip it.
And I'm saying, do I sit there for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it's going to be, and get harassed by people that shouldn't even be running for president? Should I be doing that?
Speaking about the other candidates, Trump called former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, quote, nasty, and said former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is running, quote, solely on the basis of let's get Trump. Trump told Carlson he is disappointed in his former Vice President Mike Pence as it pertains to what took place on January 6, 2021, and not sending the election results back to the states. Pence has said repeatedly he lacked any authority to do so. With the first debate over, the focus shifts yet again to the former president as Donald Trump is set to surrender to authorities in Georgia today on charges he attempted to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the state. Trump faces 13 counts, including racketeering and conspiracy to commit forgery and false statements. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis had given Trump and 18 other co-defendants until noon Friday to turn themselves in. On Wednesday, Trump's lawyer and the former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, surrendered. He was booked and released with his bond set at $150,000, second only to Trump, whose bond is set at $200,000. Attorneys Jenna Ellis and Sidney Powell also turned themselves into the Fulton County Jail on Wednesday. Thank you for watching this special edition of the Morning Rundown and for choosing Straight Arrow News as your trusted source. And now you can know the second the Morning Rundown is available with the Straight Arrow News app. The app is free to download in the Apple and Google Play app stores. Just search Straight Arrow News, then make sure to turn on notifications, and you'll get alerted each weekday morning when it's time to watch. Unbiased, straight facts, that's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.